Phonetics is an important foundation to many areas of linguistics. It aims to give a systematic, conscious consideration of how speech sounds are made, what they sound like, and how they compare with each other. Good day everyone, I am Rochelle Escalante and I will be discussing the phonetics. So, what is phonetics? So, when we say phonetics, it is the study of speech sounds. And it is a branch of linguistics that focuses on the production and classification of words' speech sounds. So, the production of speech looks at the interaction of different vocal organs such as lips, tongue, teeth to produce a particular sound. So, we have also what we call phonetic alphabet or the IPA, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet. So, it is an alphabetic system of phonetic notation based primarily on the Latin script. It was devised by the International Phonetic Association in the late 19th centuries as a standardized representation of speech sound in a written form. So we have also the articulatory phonetics, which is the branch of phonetics that concerned with describing the speech sounds of the world's languages in terms of their articulations, which is the movement and also positions of the vocal organs. So what are those main articulators? We have the tongue, our upper lip, lower lip, also the upper teeth, the upper gum ridge, or what we call the alveolar ridge. We have also the hard palate. We have also the volume or our soft palate. And also we have the uvula, which is the free hanging end of the soft palate. Also the pharyngeal wall, glottis, which is the space between our vocal cords. So in English, there are 24 consonant sounds. So what is a consonant? So when we say consonant, it is a speech sound produced by completely or partly stopping the air being breathed out through our mouth. So in English, it was described by the IPA, International Phonetics Alphabets, based on three. We have the voicing, the place of articulation, and also the manner of articulation. So let's discuss the different consonants. So let's discuss in how to pronounce those consonants. Let's start with letter B, and it sounds as B. So this sound exists in most languages and it is also usually denoted by letter B. One thing to pay attention to is that it doesn't become P when it is at the end of a word, unless it follows an unvoiced consonant. Like for instance, the word hub, knob, suburb. We have also the letter D and it sounds as the. It is a common sound denoted by D in most languages, including English. And again, it does not become T when it is at the end of a word unless it follows an unvoiced consonant. Like for instance, odd, prod, cod. So in British English, the sound is somewhere in between of D and T. And in American, it is clearly D. Like for example, do, deal, dust, odd, prod, cod. We have also the hard TH. We have the jet, joke, giant, purge, huge, banjo. So hard TH pronounced as the. So it is a sound approximately like D and G. And also we have the soft TH. Through, father. So it is a common source of problems for English learners it is pronounced as if you wanted to say D, but you only slightly touch the back of your teeth by your tongue instead. So in particular, it is not pronounced as D or G. It is represented by TH in writing, but TH is also often a hard TH. So you will learn by heart when to use which one. So this symbol or the soft TH pronounced as three. Like for instance, like for example, we have the three there, father there. So those are soft TH. We have also the F, or it sounds as so example, fast, fat, philosophy, of, stuff, cough. So you can hear the word or the sound f there. So again, a sound that usually causes little trouble, it is usually represented by F or PH, and also often by GH at the end of the word. We have also the G, or it sounds as G. So the sound similar to K, but voice, with an almost uninterrupted stream of sound coming out of our vocal cords. It is represented by the letter G, but G can pronounce also many different ways in different contexts. Pay attention to G at the end of a word. It is not pronounced as K. So in G, it is sounds as G, like for example, go, get, grass, big, dog, and also fig. Another one, we have the H, and it sounds as ha, ha. Native speakers of French and Russian, beware, these sounds may require some training. Try to make a neutral sound just by letting air to flow through your vocal cords, and then try to squeeze the stream of air at very bottom of your throat. Ha. So the sound is represented by the letter H in writing, but pay attention to all the possible letter groups in which the letter H participates, like CH, CH, TH, GH, and many others. It is never located at the very end of a word or a syllable. So example of ha sound is high, how, hot, somewhere, somehow, ahead, adhere. So there is a ha sound there. We have also the letter J, or it's known as yi, you, yet, yon, pure, cure, few. So the symbol can be slightly confusing, especially for speakers of French and Spanish. So in the IPA, it represents what is usually written as Y. But in English, at the beginning of a syllable, it can also appear after another consonant when written as U. Another one is the K. It sounds as K. Like for example, kip, cut, character, suck, block, and chick. So you can hear there the sounds K. We have also the L and letter T, and it sounds as L and T. L for letter L and T for T. Example of letter L, low, like, owl, cool, well. An example for T sound is let, let, let. Another one is M, or it sounds as m. Example, man, my, more, some, dom, seem. So this sound is present in almost every language in the world and shouldn't pose any problem. It is always represented by the letter M. Another one is the N or N. Example, no, new, nost, ban, soon, keen. So you can hear there the N sound. Another consonant is NG. This sound is produced as if you wanted to say N but with the back of your tongue. So the part with which you say G, it's never at the beginning of a word but can be in the middle of the word derived from a verb by adding ER or ING. Like for example, singer, longing, thing, bringing. We have also the P sound, or it was represented by P. Like for example, we have the pit, pail, pock, top, hip, cup. So you can hear there the P sound. And also the R for red, rich, rick, bore, care, tour. But in British, they omit the letter R. They usually omit the letter R. We have also the letter S or sh. Sit, soap, same, boss, kiss, house. So you can hear there this sound. We have also the SH. This sound is created by saying S but bending your tongue farther to the upper palate. It is usually represented by SH, but sometimes by CH. Like for example, shy, shut, chef, bosh, and Dutch. Another one is the T. We have the too, tall, T, hot, pot, put. So the very same rules about the aspiration that hold K and P hold also for T. It is always aspirated when it is at the beginning of a stressed syllable, like the example that I was mentioned, the too, tall, and the T. And in many dialects also almost everywhere else except after S. Example is step and still. Another one is the CH. This sounds as ch. This sounds approximately like T. Together, it is usually represented by CH or TCH in writing. But CH is also often pronounced as K and sometimes or K and sometimes SH. So example of this is chat, China, choose, rich, catch, ch. There's a ch sounds. And also match. We have the V sounds and it was represented by letter V. Example, van, very, vile, stove, leave, and save. There is a there's a V sound. We have also the W, wow, wax, dwell, swine, twain. And another one is the Z sound. So this sound is usually causes few pronunciation problems, but the way it's written can be confusing. The letter Z usually represents Z, but X at the beginning of a word is also usually pronounced Z, and S at the end of a word is also often pronounced as Z if it's preceded by a vowel, but not always. Like for instance, zoo, xenon, zoom, is, has, rose. So that's the consonant sounds. Let's proceed to the vowels. So if you can see a symbol like this, it is represented, or it's just simply mean that it is a long vowel. We have the first one, the a sound. Example, cat, bed, sad, sand, land, hand. And this is the symbol of this. It's among all of English vowels, the greatest problem for most learners possess this vowel sound. It is somewhere between A in a feather and E in bed. Cat, bed, sad, sand, land, hand. It is usually pronounced slightly longer in American English than in British English. And it is always represented by the letter A in a stressed closed syllable, but not all such occurrences are pronounced as this. We have also the A sounds, and it is written like this. So example, bra, calm, palm, father, start, dark. So you can hear the A sound there. So this vowel is the closest one to the sound of the letter A in many other languages, and as such is also denoted in some dictionaries. We have also the A. This vowel very similar to A, but it's never pronounced long in English. It is always represented by U in a stressed closed syllable or an O, but both can be pronounced also in a different way. Example, but, cut, gun, come, some, glove. So the symbol is a reverse V. It's like this one. We have also the A sound. Example, get, bed, sat, sell, fell, men. So this vowel is the closest one to the sound of the letter E in most other languages, and is sometimes denoted by E in dictionaries. And it is usually represented by an E in a closed stressed syllable, but often also by I, like for instance, said, bear, pear. We have also the E sound, short E. We have the pit, bean, feel, wheel, village. In writing, this sound is most commonly represented by I in a closed stressed syllable, but also unstressed A, E, or I. It is often pronounced as E. If you find E in a dictionary for a word in which you can clearly hear E, don't worry. In most cases, the two possibilities are interchangeable. We have also the long E sounds. Example, he, she, she, keep, family, hyperbole. So E sound here in this given example are long. So this is just a so for E. It is mostly represented by a double E, but quite often also by E and also A's, and single E final Y, and also others. It is usually long when it is in a stressed syllable and short when it is not, but not necessary. So we have also the aw sounds, like for instance, saw, straw, dawn, fall, call, wall. So a similar sound to the British aw, but somewhat darker. It is usually represented by aw, all, or AW. We have also the oo sound, you, who, chew, shoe, cool, tool. It is a long vowel. We have also the Example, syllable, moment, terrible, felony. So most learners of English learn very fast how to pronounce when it means an indefinite article, and this is exactly the pronunciation of it can be represented by any vowel, a, e, I, o, u, in any unstressed syllable. We have also the e. It is a long vowel. Example, curb, purge, herd, serve, bird, a sound, a, steer. So that's the end of the vowel sounds. So let's now move on to place of articulation. So we have here a diagram. So if you can see, these are the places where the constriction and obstruction of ear occur. We have the dental, we have also the labiodental, we have the bilabial, the alveolar, the post-alveolar, we have also the palatal, the velar, and also the glottal. So let's start with bilabial. So bilabial consonants occur when you block, constrict airflow out of the mouth by bringing your lips together. So example of this is the letter P, B, M, and it sounds as P, B, as P, like for example, purse, and wrap, B, B sound as buck, cub, M or M sounds mud, clump. We have also the labiodental. So example of this is the F and V, the sound and the V. Example, fro, calf. For the letter V or V sound, we have the vine and also have. So in here, the consonants occur when you block constrict airflow by curling your lip back and raising it to touch your upper row of teeth. So that is labiodental. We have also the dental. Example of these is the hard and soft th. We have the thick, path, and the and rather. So in here, it occurs when we block constrict airflow by placing our slimy tongue against our upper teeth. Let's do it. The, the, that is for soft th. The for hard th. That is a dental. We have also the alveolar. So the consonants in here is the N, T, D, S, Z, and L. N, and it sounds as N. Example, no, man. T, we have the tub, rat. So the alveolar ridge is where our teeth meet our gums. So we create alveolar consonants when we raise our tongue to our alveolar ridge to block or constrict airflow. Example, N, T, D, S, Z, L. We have also the post-alveolar. So when we retract our tongue back just a bit from alveolar ridge, so the sounds change enough to be recognized as distinct consonants. So post-alveolar consonants are those that occur when our tongue blocks or constricts airflow at the point just beyond our alveolar ridge. Example, j, shot, brush, vision, measure, much. that is a post-alveolar. We have also the palatal. Example of this is yes. So the roof of our mouth in the hard palate, we may know it as the place that burns like hell when we eat a pizza that is too hot. So we create palatal consonants when we raise our tongue to the point and constrict airflow. Example, yes. We have also the velar. And what are those sounds that we usually produce? We have the ng, the k, the g. So example, going, kite, good. So in behind of our hard palate, we have the volume or our soft palate. Unlike the bony hard palate, in front of it, so this consists of soft mucousy tissue. So we make velar consonants when we raise the back of our tongue to the velum to block, restrict airflow. So let's do it. K, g. That is a velar. So we have also glottal. So the glottis is actually two vocal cords. It acts as a sort of bottle cup to your windpipe. So we try to inhale. So when we inhale and then hold your breath for a few seconds while keeping your mouth open. Inhale, exhale. So what I'm actually doing to keep the airflow from expelling out of my lungs by closing my glottis. So glottal sounds aren't actually consonants, they just play consonant roles in the language. In English, the following things happen at the glottis. Example is the h sound, the letter H, which sounds as h, h. Example, high and Bahamas. So if we're going to say these two words, hi, Bahamas. So we noticed how we're not actually constructing or blocking airflow for this ha sound. We are just inhaling a little bit harder than we could for a formal vowel sound. So in English, we usually omit these sounds. This is actually the culprit behind many of the silent syllables. So that is the manner, that is the place of articulation. So in articulatory phonetics, the manner of the articulation is the configuration and interaction of the articulators, or what we call our speech organs, such as our tongue, our lips, and our palate when making speech sounds. So one parameter of manner in structure, that is how closely the speech organs approach one another. Others include those involved in sound stops and trills. So the concept of manner is mainly used in the discussion of consonants, although the movement of the articulators will also greatly alter the resonant and properties of the vocal tract, thereby changing the form and structure of a speech sound that is crucial for identification of vowels. And for consonants, the place of articulation and the degree of phonation of voicing are considered separately from manner as being independent parameters. So we have also the homorganic consonants, which have the same place of articulation. It may have different manners of articulation and often nasality and laterality are included in manner, but some phoneticians such as Peter Ladefog consider them to be independent. So we have here the manner of articulation. We have the plosive, the nasal, fricative, lateral approximate, lateral approximant. We have also the approximant, and lastly the affricate. So in plosive, it is produced by the obstacle of air stream from the lungs followed a release of air stream. Example: p, b, t, d, k, g. So that is plosive. And we have also nasal. It is produced by the release of air through the nasal cavity. We have the and also So that is nasal. So in fricatives, it is produced by the release of a friction-like noise created by the air stream escaping through a variant of narrow gaps in our mouth, such as f, v, the, s, z, j, and h. So that is fricative. We have also the lateral approximant. It is produced by the obstruction of air stream at a point along the center of oral tract with incomplete closure between one or both sides of the tongue and the roof of the tongue, such as l, l, l. So that is lateral approximant. Another one is the approximant, which produced by proximity of two articulators without turbulence or hard movement and friction-like noise, such as r. We have also the affricate. It was produced by involving more than one of those manners of articulation. Firstly, to produce the sounds in the alveolar ridge, then followed by combined with fricative sounds like j. So that is the manner of articulation. So that ends up my discussion about the phonetics. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. Again, thank you so much and keep safe, everyone.